Congratulations to all of our amazing students at OCCTAC. And I want to thank all of your hard work, and I want to congratulate the amazing teachers we have at the center. Now, it is my privilege to introduce our panelists. I will start with Ms. Robin McNair. She works with the Santa Ana Unified School District as the VAPA Arts Specialist.
Hi, everybody. It's super nice to meet you, and I'm really excited to be here and celebrate the amazing work of our young students and artists. So thank you for having us.
Thank you, Ms. Robin. Our next set of panelists are Gabby Kramer and Tram Lee, who work for the Office of Arts and Culture for the City of Santa Ana. Thank you so much for participating with us today as our panelists.
Oh, it's our pleasure and honor to be part of this panel with all of you. Amazing talent.
It is a fine pleasure to meet all of you. We got to see you performing on the video, and now we get to see you live and actually learn more about you.
Thank you very much for participating. Without further ado, again, I want to congratulate the OCCTAC team for being able to create this 8-week-long theater class while learning virtually this past summer while in our shelter-in-place order. Now it is my pleasure to pass the microphone to our panelist, Ms. Robin McNair.
Well, thank you very much. And actually, between me and Tram and Gabby, we want to congratulate you again for the extraordinary and amazing work that you all have done to pull this together. We know that it is not for the faint of heart to put on a production like this as we pivot to the virtual world. And we're grateful that the arts are thriving and coming out in other ways. So thank you again for having us here. I want to turn it over to Tram, who has some congratulatory notes as well.
Thank you, Robin. I do want to, first of all, congratulate the OCCTAC team for putting together a well-produced virtual, I can't believe it, this is all done virtually, separately in people's bedrooms, production, and a musical, no less. It's hard enough to put a musical on live, much less on through Zoom. I want to commend and congratulate Phoebe Stancio for transforming this Mexican folktale onto the screen to bring it alive. Claudia de la Cruz for being able to bring out those performances from the students through Zoom. Mark Di Malanta for the visuals. The production crew, I mean, the costumes and makeup were on point. We were able to figure out everybody before they were even introduced. Like we were like, that's the sun, that's the, that's the deer. So amazing visuals there. And the music crew, the opening song brought so much joy and it drew me in and it made me want to keep watching, that original song of Del Colores. I was totally mesmerized by the special effects. So congrats to Randy for that. And the cast, of course, for bringing the characters alive and for making each of it so unique to each one of you. We saw your personalities in there and it was just so much fun. Gabby and I were laughing and smiling to the very end, watching you play out your characters. So congratulations to everyone. And thank you for bringing joy to those who are watching.
So Sophia, and Jesus and Roberto. So yeah, tell us which roles you were. Sophia, we'll start with you.
Hi, my name is Sophia and I played the moon and the sun.
The moon and the sun. Awesome.
Yes.
Jesus, what was your role?
Hello everyone, my name is Jesus Reyes and the role that I play is the deer.
And how about you, Roberto?
My name is Roberto Reyes and I played as one of the main narrators, the mosquito.
I played Mariposa.
I was the Mariposa, Yamasatli. I got the role of La Mariposa, yeah.
Oh, you're the main character, huh? Great. on that lead?
I'm Ameyal, and I was a dove. I'm Misty Martinez, and I was for the Mariposa play. I was a dove, yeah, same.
The first question I have for you is, first of all, just like show of hands or however, how many of you have participated in theater before this, for this particular? But just one of you? Everybody else is brand new to this? Amazing. So for you then, Roberto, when did you first perform?
For me, my first performance was like way back when I was in kindergarten, where I played as a pirate in the production Peter Pan. Well, what was different is that, one of the major ones is that I got to be on stage for that production. Most of our production was on stage, but this one, we kind of had to do like a video, and we did it hybrid instead of like doing it all in one go in a 6-hour session. It felt like, it kind of was like different since I didn't have an actual audience in front of me, since I'm used to that since I've been on and off stage a lot with like hundreds, even thousands of people in front of me. And this one, it was like just me, camera, and the camera guy. And so to be honest, I kind of like miss like hearing all those laughs, all those applause, but just doing it also like gives me like another sense of experience of like how it's like to be behind the camera.
No, at school I had done a year with Frog and Toad, Willy Wonka and Annie. So I've done musicals before, but not like this, not in this way.
True, that's true. Because I did live theater too, and I feed off the energy from the audience. The more they clap, the more they laugh, the bigger I become, But when it's just a camera, you feel like, did I say that joke right? Did I do anything right? Because there's no feedback. So I totally get you. So for the other 3 or the other 4 that are joining us, how was this experience for you to do it with this camera pointed at you, no audience or anything like that? Sophia or Jesus?
Well, ever since I'm used to be sometimes shy, nervous when I go in front of a stage, when I'm going to a concert. But when I heard that the Mariposa it's gonna be hybrid modeled, I was like, I wanna give it a try. First, I was like, I just want to try just draw the costumes and stuff until they asked me if I want to try the part for the deer, and I was like, sure. I was like, sure, I guess. And then I tried to do the deer part, and ever since that experience, I started to like being shows.
Yeah.
Well, at home was kind of easy to just do my lines, read them off my phone, and just really, it was really like just me in a way, and I just looking at the screen, and everyone was just digitally on the computer. And then when I had to go record, I kind of got a little nervous because there was people in front of me, and like being live is a little bit more nerve-wracking than just being on a computer, and you just have to keep going. But when when we had to record it, it was like, if you didn't do it right one time, you had to do it again until you got it right. When like doing it on stage, it was just going for it to see what came out. I would choose the live performances because I personally think that they're funner and already have done them both. I really prefer live performances than like digitally and stuff like this.
So, my next question is, how did you each get involved in this production? So you were just testing out the water, Jesus, until they were like, you would be a good deer. But how did all of you, what got you involved in this?
So what it appears that one of them sends the email for this pamphlet that to sign and will be planned for the summer for this year's summer program. So they all sent emails. They sent everyone that said, join the product for La Mariposa, join the product for La Mariposa. And basically you just had to sign, and it will ask you if you're good at acting or drawing, all those kind of stuff. So technically you just had to write, sign everything, and then voila, you're in.
Yeah, not really. I mean, the only main difference I saw was just the camera, but other than that, I was pretty used to like, cracking jokes. I mean, way back in my school days, I was actually one of the best improvisers actually. So I would like crack jokes left and right, make up my own lines. I was like the best at it.
Yes, well, you all did an amazing job. We were, like Tram mentioned, we were laughing throughout the whole production, and we could tell your characters and how involved you were in playing your role, and we really had a lot of fun watching you. You mentioned, I think, I don't know if it was Jesus or Roberto, you mentioned the hybrid model. And I was just curious if you can expand a little bit on what that actually means in terms of how you produced this play. What was hybrid about it? What portions did you do from home? And if you did meet in person, what activities did you do as a group? And I'll direct this question to Roberto.
So for the hybrid model, so what we did is that, usually we would meet online, but when we do filming, everyone had their own appointment time. We didn't film the whole thing in one day. It took how many, Randy? 3-4 days? Yeah, so it stretched out for a long period of time, the filming. So everyone had their own appointment. Everyone had to show up with masks. We all had to practice social distancing. And I do know that only a limited number of people were allowed in the room that we were recording. So we had to take every precaution because none of us wanted to, of course, get COVID. And we had to shut down the whole thing until everything goes back up again.
Well, I really enjoyed it. It was really fun being able to be the main character, but singing and acting and everything, I was able to be myself and express how I was. And I really learned how to be more confident in myself and just express myself more than I already did with my emotions and everything, be more loose with myself when it came to acting. I learned how to be more confident in a way, because I felt like I would always be just by myself, keeping myself doing what I did, just what people thought I did, and not really went out of doing other things. So I just kind of let myself be and just have fun, basically.
It's a very beautiful collaboration and very powerful to see all of it come together. So we were curious about your experiences. What are some of the highlights in putting this together? Maybe some laughable moments, maybe some mishaps that happened that you overcame to make this come together. So who'd like to take it?
I can tell you another one that I now that Randy encouraged me to say, that he shared also one. So it was a part when we wanted all the kids to dance, they're dancing scenes. And so Randy and I, we were okay, come on, dance, but sometimes, of course, even if they were by themselves, it is a little intimidated to have the camera in front of you and no one was watching you. Still a little challenge with that, of course, And then we began with the idea to ask every actor to ask us, we asked them, what was their favorite song, any song, any genre. And that was like a tremendous success, you know, because as soon as we played the song, they were really into the feeling of the song, you know. So and it became a very awesome and so magical results, you know, because everybody was really feeling the song and the music that that we were playing for them, because it was their favorite song. I think that was fantastic. You know, for me, was one of the highlights.
Yes, I think we experienced that energy. We saw that energy in the dancing, and it made it upbeat and fun to watch.
Hi guys, I wanted to jump in. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Mark.
Hi,
Mark in the house.
Gabby, hi Tram. Hey guys, it's great hearing your comments. This is Mark. If you don't remember my name, Mark DiMolanta. I'm with Visual Arts for SAOSD and Prep Arts. I got to handle the visual arts aspect of this production. I wanted to say hi to Aldo's mom. Hi, Miss Rivera. How are you? Good to see you.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. This is Miss Isabel Rivera, Aldo Salinas' mom. I wanted to highlight Aldo. I think with the kids, the beautiful thing about this project was not every kid is a natural thespian inherently, but when they took on this project, they became actors. You know, they got to wear the costume, they got the makeup, and they assumed the role, and it was beautiful to watch them perform. And even though, let's say, some of them had apprehension or they were a little bit shy, you wouldn't have noticed it. These guys were fantastic. And for example, Aldo, he took on his character of the male butterfly, and then Claudia's choreography and the way she taught him how to dance and move. It's just beautiful to watch. I loved his scene the most when Randy did the After Effects, the animation where you can see different levels of his movement. I just thought it was amazing. The take-home message for me was we were all a little bit unsure how to pull this off. We had a goal, we had a mission. There were many challenges, but collectively we all worked together. We pulled it off, and just the end product and how happy all the kids were, how rewarding and how satisfied they were with what they were able to produce in such a unique and awkward time. I think is our take-home message that everything we'll do moving forward, it's going to get better and better. And I just think the kids' experiences are going to get better and better. And what the most rewarding thing for all of us was when we saw how elated the kids were, how they got to pull off and do something they never thought that they could do, something that they never thought they could be a part of. But we invited all disciplines, from whether it's music, dance, or art, take a shot, take on an acting role. And what they did, I'm just blown away. You know, I loved every aspect of this. I loved every one of their performances, and I watched them all grow up this summer. I watched them all gain a little bit of confidence. So, you know, hats off to everybody, all you guys. I crack up joining your classes because I get the same humor and that we all experienced this summer. So it was a great experience, and I look forward to all of you guys joining more of our productions, and we're all going to get better at this, and it's going to get better and better and better. And you know, thank you everyone who participated, all you young actors. I'm very proud of you.
But let's go back to the kids. I thought Robin asked a really nice question, and we didn't get to hear Jesus, Roberto, Sophia, and Aldo. What was like a memorable moment that's going to stay forever coming from this project?
Ever since, due to the pandemic, the most honorable memories, like when Randy, well, let's say the group who made the idea of Mariposa made it like virtually, and I was like surprised how we managed to make process like ever since the beginning till now. And I'm actually quite proud for everyone, proud for including myself, that we made this project ever since virtually, including hybrid model. It was like how they actually worked, edit, and inviting other special guests to show how the example of the show will look like.
For me, it was just the humor, whether it was just me cracking up jokes to Justin, who played as the fish, showing off his like really awesome and hilarious backgrounds. It was just the humor. I mean, I think that's like the number one thing that kept this whole thing together, because if he, you know, haven't like really like cracked a joke now and then probably like we would have, you know, like it wouldn't have been as that energetic. Like even like when we're not behind the camera, we would like crack jokes. Like I remember telling Mark when I first got my cane, "Hey, now I get to hit people with it." And he's like, "What? No."
I'm just curious if any of you were surprised at seeing the whole thing put together, since you had to act in isolation. What was it like when you saw the whole thing come together? How did that make you feel?
Well, to be honest, me and my brother actually got an early preview because Randy is our media arts teacher. So he showed us like a couple clips of La Mariposa to show us, what we're going to be working on for this semester that we're having. And so just seeing like those early previews was like really amazing. Some stuff did get cut off, unfortunately. But, just seeing those scenes and knowing that we're like the only people who got to see them was actually pretty amazing. I mean, we worked really hard on this.
Really, for me, it was just a surprise getting an invitation for La Mariposa because, I mean, not every single day you get an invitation to do like a theater. So, I think from that, this was just really one of my first experiences like this, and I feel like this was really good and a very nice experience for me and my family to watch all of this come together. And
are you guys going to keep doing it? Sounds like Mark was giving us a foreshadowing of things to come. So again, huge kudos to the whole team, because there was so much of that is original. You adapted it for a virtual environment, which is very challenging in this time. So what was your favorite part of the show? Jesus, Roberto, any of the cast, what was your very most favorite part of the whole thing when you saw it all put together?
The favorite part is when my brother, who played as the mosquito, who has been doing a bunch of weird stuff, comedian stuff, and like when he likes eating most of the food, including bothering the ladybug. That's one of my favorite parts. And also when I saw the ram, aka that I think was Miss Phoebe, I like actually when he was like panicking. It was like we got a bad situation, and the other one was like ignoring everything.
For me, it's just, I got two favorite parts. It's just, like being behind the camera and, finally like having like both theater experience, one being behind the camera and two being on the stage. So, like this is going to really help me in the future so I can know like what to expect when both acting, and two, and it's still going on today, teasing Randy about a sequel to La Mariposa.
Now we all know that, the end result was amazing and magical, but we also know being in theater, a lot of things can go wrong. So what was the most challenging thing for all of you? Crew, actors, from Claudia, direct, or whatever, anything. What was some of the more challenging stuff that you were able to put?
Well, the challenging part is that during my deer scene, my antlers will sometimes fall down a lot of times. My antlers.
How were they stepped on?
Well, usually I was like when I was wearing this costume, I was like sweating like nuts. Like I was like feeling like I was in like an ocean or something, and I feel like this like my antlers always fell down. Like every scene, like when I was in the panicking scene when the male Mariposa fell in the water, and I was like trying to find it, and it always fell down.
Was it a headband or how was it on?
Well, it's kind of hard to pronounce. It's more like when you put it on the head. It's like I forgot what's it called though. What's it called? I think it's it's kind of like I think I forgot what's it called. Oh, but it keeps falling down. Like it's not a rubber band or something. Like a circle one. It's like this. Like it always like falls down, and like we had to keep like doing like over and over again to get the right scene.
I think that's the beauty of all of it, is that you guys make it seem magical and seamless, and there's so much going on behind. So what are some of the things that you learned because you did this? What do you walk away knowing or experiencing? What did you learn by being part of this whole production? Whether you're in front of the camera or you're behind the scenes, making props, doing costumes, what are some of the things you learned?
Well, one of the things that I've learned is because not only did I partake acting, but I also did the music portion. So I had to go in like a bunch of time, not only to record my acting part, but also to record music, whether it was playing my viola, my piano, or or just singing. I do know that most of my songs that I played on the piano did get cut, except for one. But what I've really learned about recording is that it can actually take a long time. I mean, to actually be there and take multiple takes over and over and over again, it could be really frustrated. But in the end, when you finally hear your song on the big screen, it's all worth it, actually.
Absolutely. Jesus or Sophia, Aldo, anybody else? What did you learn?
What I learned is that I heard that on one of them is that you actually had to conduct your own song, which I never done in my entire life before. And what surprises me that when I finished making it, when I hear it in the concert, I was surprised how well played it was made, and then how I made the song well.
So the only acting I've ever had was because I do presentations with my dad. I do by the Folklorico, and they invite us sometimes to do presentations to 4th Street, and I think that's all the acting I've ever done. But now that I got the opportunity to be in an actual theater, not just dancing, I really learned what it's like to be behind the scenes, doing a scene, or really everything that's done in the theater, because I've never done that before. So that's something that I learned from this entire experience.
Ooh. So to go back to Gabby's great question, would you do theater again?
And now that I really know how it's like, I think I would, because it gives me a little bit of an advantage, and I think it's a really fun thing. I don't see it boring or anything. It's theater is very different from dancing, and it's really fun. So I would, yes.
I have a question for all of you, and being in a production, you tend to have moments where you have fun, like you just mentioned, Amlo. And so I don't think we've asked this question, but can you tell us about one of your funniest moments that you had while producing this play?
Funniest moment. I'm going to say when I'm frying the fish, because I did a bunch of nonsense. In fact, I was so in the zone that I made one tiny mistake. I don't know if any of you caught it, but I called the fish onion ring.
Why'd you call it an onion ring?
I don't know. I mean, I was so in the zone, and I'm like, hey, you, fish, onion ring. In fact, most of the lines that I've said in La Mariposa, I've actually forgot that I've said those.
Was it written down first?
Yeah, so what happens is that we actually had an actual script, but since they told me, hey, you gotta be annoying in this whole production, try to annoy the second narrator as much as possible. So I'm like, alrighty. So I just kept on repeating a bunch of nonsense, whether it was asking really dumb questions or eating on set. It was pretty hilarious that I can finally do something that I've always wanted to do, just annoy somebody till they die of boredom.
They should call you the annoying mosquito.
And you're still in character, huh?
Yeah, I'm still in character even after all these months.
Did you learn that you could do things that you never thought you could before?
Well, I kind of got out of my shyness like that.
Beautiful. When my daughter was a little girl, she was very, very shy too. And now she's gone on and she's doing the theater internationally. So sometimes it's the shyest people that will surprise you the most.
Right here. I remember fourth, third grade, I think, we're playing Nutcracker, and literally I hid behind the person in front of me. And my parents were like, why did you hide? We couldn't even see you. But I was that embarrassed to be on stage. And, you know, fast forward 20 years later, I started a theater troupe. So you never know where you're going to end up. It's very possible.
But Sophia got the courage to do two characters, which is very awesome. You know, she did the sun and the moon. So it's like, I think it's a good starting, Sophie.
Yeah. And there was a lot of talking in those two characters. They were not quiet characters.
Sophia, since we're talking about your character, did you have the opportunity to improvise on some of your lines, or did you follow your script the way it was written? How did you approach saying your lines?
I didn't improvise. I just read the script, and every day my mom would tell me that I had to like learn the script for my character if I can memorize it.
Although for your dances, did you think of those moves yourself, or did Claudia or somebody else teach you those moves?
Some of the moves were taught by Claudia, and some of the moves I had to think of them.
Yeah, a ballet folklorico dancer. Do you from that?
And no, it wasn't really ballet folklorico. It was sort of like free dance. Like the ballet folklorico, I do know, but the one I had to come up with was just like free dance.
So you were building your language of dance so you could expand, right? To do all kinds of dance and bring that into the show.
So what did you guys do when you were not doing theater? When you're just like in between the breaks, or even after, you know, when you weren't rehearsing, what else did you do?
Well, during La Mariposa, when we were like doing it like towards the beginning, I actually had two other summer things that I was doing. I was not only in La Mariposa, but I was in Santa Ana's first Zoom musical, The Show Must Go Online.
Oh.
And I also was taking a algebra readiness class for high school. And to be honest, most of my summer was just mainly acting with both the Santa Ana Unified all district Zoom production and with this one. So to be honest, I felt like, you know, I've been like on and off stage pretty much my whole life.
Thank you all again. Again, my name is Carlos Beltran, Director of Arts Education at OCCTAC. Thank you for supporting our beautiful organization this year during Giving Tuesday. All your funds, all your donations go a long way. Thank you for supporting us. Stop by, visit us, see our website. Our education online continues and continues to grow. Congratulations to the OCCTAC staff and all of our talented and amazing students.